First things first, let me just tell you what this video will be about, because there is a lot to unpack when it comes to gynecomastia, the surgery, the other solutions. So this video in particular will be more around the surgery as a solution. What was my experience like? What are the do's and don'ts? How was my recovery? And so you will see sort of a little bit of a bits and pieces of different vlogs put together, but also separate videos of me today addressing some of those issues I had to deal with, right? If you want general information on gynecomastia, what it means, what are the types of this medical issue, or how to deal with it in general, you probably are better off searching for other videos. That said though, I will make more videos on this topic around how to choose a surgeon, what other solutions could be possible, and maybe some other related videos. But I wanted to show this because this is the part that most guys do not show, they feel too shy. But my thing is, I just want to help you, just like somebody maybe helped me. And reality is, there is nothing to be shy about. Whether you're a really young or a little bit of an older guy, that's fine. We're all trying to improve. Sometimes it's although unfortunate, but there are some instances where maybe a surgery is a thing that the only way could help you. And by the way, it's not a matter of merely aesthetics, right? Or cosmetics, if you will. It's not about that this is a surgery that is elective. There are some other things that could be precursors for bad performance or bad health when it comes to having gynecomastia, because everybody has different levels of it. It might be worse or better in different guys. And so for me, I just like, hey, I didn't want to have any sort of things in my body that is essentially a substance that's not supposed to be there, right? That tissue that is not supposed to be there. And so for me, there was a decision I had to make, and the surgery was the best solution possible, because other solutions, quite frankly, were not really in place here. I couldn't even test them, or I didn't trust them. And so there were some solutions. People were saying there are some other drugs that you can try. And I know More Plates, More Dates, Derek, he was speaking of that on YouTube and other channels. But the reality is, when you take certain drugs, first of all, there are no studies that actually prove the real benefit from them. And even if you will benefit from it, if you have like a minor case of gynecomastia, there is a risk that what if it will return? So there are nuances here. If you take a certain drug, which by the way, I'm not really a fan of drugs like holistically, but let's just say for that reason you don't want a surgery, you want to try, right? Then it's also a matter of like, what other medication do you take? What's your lifestyle? What's your nutrition? What's your diet? What's your other things, right? Because we always scared of one thing. What if you take drugs, or if you make a surgery and then it comes back? So that's the thing that we will address today. You know what, without further ado, let's jump into these vlogs, bits and pieces, and I'm gonna narrate a few things and show you images and show you before and after, and some other, I think, important points that I will make today. That will be helpful to you in your own choice in regards how to deal with gynecomastia. All right, let's start. Hey guys, I just wanted to also show you like a few pictures of before the surgery, and I'm gonna show you a better contrast when I'm gonna speak and show 6 weeks after the surgery, right? The updates on that front. But right now you're probably wondering like why I even decided to make this and what's going on, because most of my probably friends or acquaintances didn't know, and nobody will ever notice. It's really about you not liking your aesthetics as much as other things play into it. As I said, it could be health issues or potential health issues. We will unpack that in the end. But the premise is, unless it's your wife or your woman, your girlfriend that you know will know closely how you look because you will be naked in bed most of the time, you only will be the only person that will actually know the difference. And so you might say, hey, like it's all looks good here, what's the problem? Especially here, like what? Your chest looks great, what's your problem? This is like one night before the surgery, I trimmed my hair and all that, and it looks pretty decent. Like what's the problem, right? What's the issue? Well, reality is, when you have these environmental effects, it makes it look like it's better when you know the nipple, the areola kind of area contracts, and it makes it look like it's good. But there are other instances in a normal case where you can see this fluffiness and these bumps, like something is definitely here. And once again, I'm going to show you better imagery later in the video, and you will see that big contrast. You will understand what I'm talking about. But let's get going. Alright guys, here it goes. So I'm about to head out to the surgery center and do my gynecomastia surgery. And it's funny, I kind of looking like I did not sleep well, but I actually slept really good. I just went a little bit late because I indulged in watching a few series right after work, and I thought, well, I kind of need to have a good mood for this one. Yeah, basically I had to trim my hair, by the way, my body hair. I mean, obviously for surgery purpose. I hope I'm not gonna lose some muscle, but it's gonna be like minimum 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks without training. But then afterwards, again, I'm gonna start slowly getting back to the gym and hopefully gonna get lean and mean, and it's gonna be great. So I did everything I possibly could. Instructions, you know, I bought the recliner to sleep at the night after the surgery. I took the antibiotic. I did not drink, did not smoke. Today did not eat anything, did not even take water. So should be fine. God willing, everything will be great. So here you go. So yeah, time has come. It has been something I planned for a while. All right, I see you afterwards. All right, folks, here it goes. Yes, I'm in the West with those kind of things that I can drain the blood from my chest. I just got back from surgery. Everything is okay. I hope it's good. I did not see my chest yet, obviously. I'm not moving my vest at all. I did have I already told you before, I purchased the recliner thing for the bed to help me sleep so that my head is above the heart, as instructions say. I'm kind of indulgent here with pizza and kebab, and I feel good actually. My nausea that I had a little bit already is gone because I'm eating, and I think they gave me something that helped. You know, as long as I don't overdo it, I should be fine. I'm gonna take it slow, and I think I'm gonna just have one meal for today. It's 6:38 p.m. just so that I don't overdo it. Plus, I want to get lean anyway. I already lost 15 pounds. I want to lose another 7 or so. And yeah, so I feel good. I have obviously some little pain in both of my near the areola area, but I didn't take any pills for that yet. I don't think I will, hopefully. I mean, painkillers. And if I will, I probably will take Tylenol. I don't want to take the opioid because it's too strong and unnecessary, I would say. But then we'll see. Anesthesia is wearing off of me, but it has been like 2 hours since I came, maybe less. So I might have much more pain at night. So we'll see. Alright, here we go, my friends. So yes, I'm looking super weird. This is some kind of vest that I was talking about. And I think I showed you in the last video, maybe not, but I definitely didn't show it to the fullest. So here it goes. This is the vest. There is, I think, some padding here on the chest, which I'm not gonna mess with it. I'm not gonna show you the result yet. And FYI, it has been 5 days since the day of the surgery. I actually felt great. I had no problems in terms of like pain. I obviously did have feelings and tingling and sensations in the incision area, but I never really had so much pain that I had to take painkillers. I did not even take Tylenol. So kudos to the surgeon and the team there in that regard, because yeah, I felt really good. I was energetic, and thank God there is no post anesthesia kind of like serious fatigue, because I know that sometimes it can last for weeks. You know, they say, oh, it's gonna, you know, get out of the system in 24 hours. Well, not always the case, but it's really good. As for the actual aesthetics and results of the gynecomastia surgery, that's kind of tricky, because right now I was at the surgeon place, and I kind of did not like what I see. I was a little bit even horrified for a second. I was not horrified, I was confused, because it felt like an areola was kind of like changing its place or something, relocated, which is weird because he did not actually take out the areola. He only made a cut, and then he took out all the granular tissue from it. So it's not like he removed the areola, which sometimes surgeons do. I definitely said I don't want that. So then I realized though that it's simply a swelling. It's huge swelling. Everything, even if the surgery went really good, God willing, it's going to be great in the end in terms of results. But as the doctor said, it was the easiest in his practice, so I did not have that much tissue. And even in respective of the amount of tissue, he just said the location of it, everything was like smooth. But the way it still looks, I wouldn't say fluffy. That definitely doesn't look like gyno anymore. but it does look like swollen up, you know. It's a little weird, it's confusing. It's like the nipple is here and this is, it's weird. So he said, hey, don't look at it right now because it's not what you actually will see as a result. You will go crazy. And he's right, I was going crazy already. So hopefully by the time I'm gonna make new videos in many weeks and months later from now, that's gonna improve. I wanted to show you this, right? So this is a special system which this particular surgeon done. The whole point of it is that it's my blood pouring right there. Don't be scared, it's all good, it's not painful. There is another incision that he made with a small tube, microscopic one. It's gonna have like a scar the size of the acne, but because of my body hair and everything, I don't think it's gonna be even visible. It's gonna fade eventually. I think this incision is not far from the areola and definitely close to my chest, obviously. And the reason for it is that it's kind of like blood and liquid and all the fluid that gets out of the chest area after the surgery. And the reason we're doing that is because we want to prevent hematomas, seroma, maybe even having that fluid build up so that then it becomes like a scar. I don't know if it's the correct way to say it, but like a scar tissue build up, you know. You don't want like, you just remove something, you don't want something else like weird fluids stay there and create another mess, right? So you want everything even and everything good like it's supposed to be. So I have it two sides. It's kind of weird. Obviously I had to sleep on the recliner. On Amazon, I'm gonna link to it. There are multiple links. It's like a foam, a pillow foam. It's actually very nice. It looks so hard, but it's actually quite soft. And it's like a 3-set system. So I did it in the first couple of nights. They just said one night is fine, but I did it like 3 nights in a row. I thought, let me not mess with my chest because I'm quite like moving around when I sleep, and I don't want to cause any trouble, especially since I have these tubes, you know, with all the blood coming out. So, and I don't want to have blood on my bed either, you know what I'm saying? So I did not take shower for 4 days. I did like minimal shower yesterday, the lower part of my body, like a little bit, you know, washed up my, you know, armpits, whatever, washed my hair, washed my beard to keep it, you know, conditioned and all that good stuff. But yeah, I did not wash this whole chest area, and the doctor says that I can now, but I just don't want to mess with it. Like, I want them to remove this thing, I want to remove the drains, and then when I'm just gonna have my vest without any of the tubes and incisions anymore, then okay, then I will slowly get into the showers, make it more like moderate, not cold, not hot, try to not put too much soap on the you know, areola, nipple area, and just yeah, get on with it. So alright guys, here it goes. So it has been 2 weeks and 2 days since the surgery. This is how it looks today, and as you can see, the shape is already better. There is less swollen for sure. I mean, definitely when I touch it's still swollen, it's still weird, and it's like almost as if numb. It's numb and not numb at the same time. It's such a weird feeling. But you can see even here, if I'm gonna flex, definitely there is a swollen here. But here, the good news is that if I'm gonna move my hand, right, I don't want to move it too much because I still feel like sore, and it has been 2 weeks. You can see that now it flattens out, right? There is nothing. I hope it's visible to you, but it's definitely a better shape. Now there's obviously visible scarring and all the jam. Now I do have a weird sort of like areola here situation where I think it's even swollen more, and so here it's the scar is much different. So it seems like it's much bigger, so you can't even see the nipple here. It goes on and off, so it's still sort of inverted. I don't know, it's because I had it historically inverted at some time in my life when I was a kid, more so like a teenager, or is it more of a result of the surgery because there is empty area under the areola, right? So by default it can get inverted. Now it's a little cold here in my room, so see, it gets better, right? So it still shivers sort of when you have where you either sexually aroused, when it's wet, when you are wet, or when you feel cold. Those three sort of create environmental effect on how well, basically everything contracts in you, even like abs or all parts of your body contract really. And so the same comes down to a chest. And the point is, it looks much better, it looks kind of decent, but it's still far from what I want to see. Now, I shouldn't complain much because really it was a good job from a surgeon in a sense that my recovery is great. Like I don't feel much pain. Obviously there are some inconveniences. I can't like sleep properly still on my chest and stuff like that. I didn't work out yet, although I'm cleared to do so, but I'm taking it super slow. I'm probably gonna start with cardio and running. I'm not gonna actually hit the bench and all the jam yet, because I just think I'm gonna overdo it. I know myself, I'm gonna ego lift, so I don't wanna do it yet. I'm gonna take it slower. Which, trust me, it's hard because look, I'm trying to stay lean still, but you know, this thing is very hard to keep flat, and especially when you don't move around much. I work on my desk all day long, all evening long, so it's super hard, but trust me, I'm eager to get back to training, but it is what it is. I waited for this for 10 years, might as well stay patient a little bit longer. Now, another thing I wanted to let you know, be careful if you're gonna hug your friends or sleep and move around much and end up on your chest, because I hugged my friend yesterday and I didn't realize, only later kind of realized it was too strong of a hug, I guess, because even around my areola I had like some, I don't know how to describe, it's like a bubble, not a bubble, but like another little swelling, if you will, which I hope that's not connected really. Maybe I'm just like going crazy looking and overthinking too much, but it did seem like it was right after we met, and actually it felt a little painful afterwards, so it was a very weird experience. But then I slept it off, and this today when I'm recording this video, it's the next day and it feels fine. But yeah, it's still sore when I move. It's kind of weird, you know, this part seems to be sore, this is a little sore, but it's much less than it was before. Anyways, this is the update. This is 2 weeks time, 2 weeks and like change after the surgery. I do feel sensations, I feel like electric shock, I feel burning sometimes, but it's not as if painful that I could. And in fact, I think I already told you before, I never taken any painkillers, which is nice. Not even Tylenol. So far it's going good, and I'm gonna keep observing and keep giving you updates. Thank you. Yep, I did not want to even, brace you for impact. I just wanted to show you this picture right away. I do hope it did a shocking effect for some of the guys, which is not, it's not end of the world, it's not a humongous difference, but still it's a big difference to me, in a sense that, I mean, I did lose the weight, but weight was never really a problem for me when it comes to chest form. And so I lost like 15 or ish pounds, but the reality is this big difference is actually the tissue that you've seen before, and that's essentially what was taken out. And as you can see, even 6 weeks after the surgery, this is already was so much better. Now I did have some weird stuff where I didn't see the nipple coming through properly, or one areola on the right side seemed like bigger or more swollen than the other. And also, because they cut out that tissue, it also became profound that apparently one side, I think right side, was more muscular than the left, meaning I had more muscle in my, right chest than the left, which is kind of crazy. I didn't know that could be the case, but apparently I need to create some synergy and work more muscle there. But the reality is then, after this, I think this was me 4.5 months into, and you can see I started building up muscle back as well, but still quite lean, and then the shapes become better and better, and then here as well, right? So in some cases even the areola started looking better. But the reality, I was still not satisfied, because in different cases it looked a little bit differently. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna show you now for the version of what it is today, which I believe it's today is January of 2024, and I had a surgery in March of 2023. So it's like January, February. Oh geez, it's almost like what, 9 months, 10 months? It's we're getting close to the year. Wow, time flies. So I'm gonna show you how it looks like today, and also speak about a few nuances that we had to make a decision about with my surgeon. Alright guys, so I'm excited to show you the result. Obviously it's still gonna shape itself, even 10 months, like it's already 10 months, but like 12, 14, 18 months from now. So it's still gonna shape itself a little bit better. But you have to understand, I'm also working out. That also plays a big role, whether you work out or not, in terms of what kind of shape you will have. Because as I told you, I need to create synergy in terms of the muscle. But let me show you what's going on, and then we will get to the tips and wrap this up. But let's go. All right. Here we go. Maybe let me remove this as well. for you to have a better vision. All right, so as you can see, and I know my hair kind of makes it a little bit less visible, but the premise is the chest shape is pretty good. Like, it's pretty good. I mean, like you can see, if I put the arm up, if I do this one, there is no fluffiness, no swollen areas, nothing weird. There is no fake. You can see now the nipple is coming out. It's not indented, so it's very good. Like the shape, the muscle here, if I touch it, is just pure muscle. There is no even fat. In fact, one thing I didn't tell you, that the surgeon did cut a little bit of fat in along with the tissue. So removing the tissue is the most important because it's a substance that's not supposed to be there. But fat is more of a surgeon decision, because at the end of the day there is also cosmetics involved. You have to shape it to make it really good, to make it look really good. On that I'm gonna speak a little bit later more, but the premise is he actually took an unusual way of doing it. It's not like through liposuction, but he actually literally cut the fat a little bit. But the premise, he told me that I didn't have much fat. It was all tissue. So tissue is removed, now it's all muscle. But here is an issue that I well, it's not a big issue, but this is the reason I wasn't satisfied till the end, right? It's because, as you can see, if I flex, the irony is usually when you have the gyno, when you flex, it looks better. But when you don't flex, it looks not good. Now it's in reverse. When I flex, it looks a little bit worse because there are some things on the areola side. The shape is perfect, but the areola side, and mind you, by the way, I'm like about 167 pounds right now, 65. So just so that you understand, I'm 6 foot tall, if that's helpful for you to kind of understand how it all looks like together. Because your weight, your height, your muscles all will play a part in this. But what I don't like is this: when you flex, it's kind of weird. And here, there is still tiny scar tissue, like tiny, and then it almost like looked as though there was like 2 nipples. I know it's crazy, it's weird, but I'm just telling you my observations. And so I told that to the surgeon. He says, you know what? We can do the incision, right? There is steroid injection inside. Wait. It's not the steroids that people take for like testosterone boosting, performance enhancement drugs. Even if you take them, that's it's not a conversation here. We are not debating whether to take them or not. I'm just saying, when I say steroid injection, is local, meaning it's in a particular area of your body, and it's extremely tiny dose, and it's extremely tiny incision, so tiny that the needle itself did not even require for me to numb the area, so it was not even painful. He literally stuck it. I'm like, I don't feel anything. That's good. So the premise is, he said we'll do it every 8 weeks for like 2 or 3 times. But then again, there is a risk. If you do that, you might improve, your scar tissue will get reduced. There will be less of the scar tissue. But if you overdo it, it may create an indentation. So what it will cause is that your areola, your nipple will fall, become inverted and fall into it, right? You don't want that because there's some empty area. And so for me, I told you, like, historically when I was a teenager, the whole problem started, and I did have a period of time where it was already inverted. Nobody really seen it, but I did. And I was like, let me not risk this. But the surgeon did a great job, I think. He said, hey, let's do it once. We did it once. Then I'm coming like 8 weeks after that. He looked at it, he said, it's decent. Your scar tissue, it definitely improved, and I can tell it improved. Even when I was doing pull-ups, like still 8 months after the surgery, I still felt some minor pain of like scar tissue almost like tearing itself apart. Like, it was so weird. And then when we made that incision, it helped to like soothe it, and it definitely reduced the size of it. Now I said, can we do a little more? Because on this side, I really like wanted to make it even more. He said, listen, to the perfection may make it worse. The premise is that if it's decent and good enough right now, don't overdo it, don't create more problems. And so this is it. This is basically, I would consider it as a final result, because there is no more follow-ups or check-ins that I have to do with the surgeon. It's all good, I feel good. I mean, sometimes you still feel, it's not sensations, but rather, when you feel sore after the good gym training, if you did chest, you feel a little differently than you've done before. But it's nothing crazy, it's fine, it's not a big deal. At the end of the day, we're all men here, right? Like, come on, man up a little bit, it's fine. So if it's different, it's okay. The premise, I like this much more. I like the result of this. You know, I don't know how else to show you, like this way. So I like it, and I'm satisfied with my decision. But The tips on what to do, what to not do, what to consider, I also want to speak to those, so let's go ahead and do that. So, here are the things you need to consider when it comes to dealing with gynecomastia. First things first, before you commit to anything and any solution, you need to exhaust your natural possibilities, right? Which is improving your lifestyle, your nutrition, your diet, your gym, working out, maybe cold plunges, sleeping early, waking up early at the same time, not messing up with your hormonal balance due to bad sleep or alcohol or some other things. And so definitely after you exhaust that and after you've studied the heck out of what it is, the gynecomastia, what are the types of it, what's your situation, go talk to a physician, go talk to endocrinologist, not to this surgeon yet, to physician and endocrinologist, and then also do your blood work. Understand your baseline. What about your testosterone? What if you have too high of estrogen and prolactin, the female hormones, in relation to testosterone? So do keep those things in mind and make sure you understand what's your baseline. Then the number 2 tip would be you need to understand that if you're really young, like way before even 18, I don't think it's a good idea to do a surgery because you might have a situation in which your gyno comes back. You don't want that. Whether you will do drugs or meaning you will try medication, drugs, or the surgery, right? No matter what the solution is. In fact, I would encourage you to wait until maybe even 21, if not 25. I know you want to have great chest aesthetics earlier in life because that's when you will go, figure out the girlfriends and the beaches and showing off your body. Maybe you're super muscular, maybe you want to become stronger and you're going to the gym, maybe you're even competing. I get those things, but listen, rushing in with this is not a good idea. You don't want to make it worse. So keep that in mind. Age matters. In fact, it might go away by itself. Your hormonal balance might be fixed. In fact, I would even encourage you, first fix your hormones, do the lifestyle thing, understand your baseline, and wait for several years. And then when you're like 22, 23, you will start looking like, okay, nothing works. I've tried everything, the natural, and it still doesn't work. Okay, then it's time for you to start maybe considering surgery as an option. The number 3 aspect, it would be price. It is pricey. Anywhere from 3,000 to 10,000. I paid around 7K or a little bit more. And the premise is that I wouldn't want to give in on price. Like, don't go cheap if you have problems with affording this surgery, which I do understand because it's usually not covered by insurance. 90% of the time it's not, unless it's some severe case that might have also health issues and it's not elective surgery then yeah, insurance can pay, but usually you'll pay out of pocket. And although it is pricey, I would rather you wait, collect your money, and then do it versus you go to a surgeon who takes who is doing really cheap, take money for the surgery, and then will mess it up. Now, price alone is not an indicator of how good or bad the surgeon is. In fact, I told you I'm gonna make a separate video on how to choose a surgeon, but in fact, let me just bring this up. So to give you like sprinkle the idea of the comparison is that one thing would be to understand the experience. Did they do this particular surgery or not? Specifically gynecomastia surgery, right? What's the style and the system that they use? Because there are different ways to deal with it. What are the reviews? Can they give you referrals? Do they have pictures of clients? And are they certified by the board of surgeons, let's say, in a given country or location where you're in, right? This is just a few things to consider. But once again, do not give in on price. It's something you don't want to go cheap with. The other thing to keep in mind is that the surgery itself might not be a huge deal, but the recovery and the prep before actually are. And so it's at least inconvenient. And so you have to plan, like for any surgery, you might need to withhold from alcohol, smoking, some even vitamins or particular food. Also, after the surgery, you can't work out for anywhere from 2 to 6 weeks, and you might lose some muscle. You definitely don't want to overeat because if you're not working out, if you're not moving around much, how in the world you will keep your fat off, right? You don't want to add more fat while you're recovering. That's just in my opinion. But you also don't starve yourself either. Like, don't go like full crazy fasting every day. You need to have nutrition so that you recover really well. You have to get nutrients and vitamins and all that. But I'm just telling you, keep those things in mind. The recovery itself might take from 6 to 12 months, if not more. And everybody has different scenarios in different cases, different body. Somebody have a different level of complexity with a given surgery or recovery itself, and just be patient. Speaking of patience, as I told you before, it's not gonna be perfect. And even right now, although I am satisfied, it's not perfect. I don't like it to the fullest, as I wish it could be even better as a natural look, but hell, I don't have the natural look that I wanted, hence I improved it through the surgery. So you will improve, you will look better, you will eventually like it, but don't think it's gonna be perfect. It just won't be, and that's the reality. You have to understand those things. The final is, what's your why? Whom are you making it for? You, or some bullies or disrespectful people, or somebody at school, university, or your even your spouse if you're like in later years, maybe you're already married. But the premise is, no matter who is it, whether it's a person you love or person you have bad relationship with, the premise is do not do it for their for validating their opinion about you. It's all about your own self-improvement, aesthetically, physically, performance, everything. You have to understand you're not doing it to just look good, but it's also just another step in the bigger picture direction of you being more masculine, stronger, smarter, all of the other aspects I would encourage you to be focused on as somebody who really enjoys improving on the journey to becoming a well-rounded man. And so keep these things in mind. You're doing it for you at the end of the day. And that's the only real motivation or reasoning behind why you want to do this should be, in my opinion. So if you stumbled upon me for the first time, you just wanted to try to figure out the gynecomastia thing, put your comments in the comment section. I would love to be helpful. I would love to give you some advice and direction. Let's be open about it. This is not a big deal. We shouldn't be like shy and avoid this. So. And also, do give it a shot and subscribe to my channel. I speak about different issues from, more of a macro culture, religion, politics to vlog and travel to basically tips and tricks as to how to be excellent in a given area. And that's just my own journey as well to be more versatile, something I wish you as well. So please do give it a like, give it a subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next couple of videos. Once again, be patient. It's all going to be all right. Keep your head high, and hopefully you will get there just as I did. Thank you so much for watching, and I see you in the next one.